Welcome to the Literary Titan podcast. In every episode, we dive into a book we've just read and share our thoughts, from best-selling authors to rising literary stars. We read it. Now let's talk about it. Listening to Spravato by Justin Page is a personal and practical meditation on how music shapes the experience of Spravato treatment for depression. Part memoir, part guide, and part argument for more intentional clinical care, the book follows the author's journey from years of severe depression and suicide attempts into the fragile, complicated hope offered by esketamine sessions. Page explores the Spravato chair as more than a medical setting, showing how light, blankets, headphones, silence, clinicians, playlists, and even the soft crunch of recorded snow can become part of the treatment environment. At its center is a clear and quietly radical idea. When the mind is most vulnerable, sound isn't background. It's structure, shelter, and sometimes a lifeline. What moved me most was the book's tenderness towards suffering, without ever turning it into spectacle. Page writes about depression with an intimacy that feels earned, especially in the personal note, where he remembers being 16 and feeling that the word depression was far too small for the storm it named. That passage gives the rest of the book its emotional gravity. The later chapters on playlists, clinic rooms, and session phases could have felt purely technical, but they don't, because they're rooted in the lived knowledge of someone who has needed these tools to survive. I found the One Bad Trip chapter especially striking. The absurd interruption of a Spotify ad, followed by the terrifying intrusion of a screaming solo flute and a rumbling Beethoven passage, makes the book's central argument suddenly visceral. Page doesn't merely tell us that sound matters under Spravato. He lets us feel how quickly music can become menace when the self is unmoored. The writing is strongest when it trusts its own lyric intelligence. Page has a gift for turning sensory experience into language that feels both precise and haunted. Ambient music becomes architecture. A soft piano feels like a hand on the shoulder. Public soundscapes offer the comfort of a crowd without the threat of contact. I admired the way he balances poetic reflection with practical restraint. He's skeptical of mystical claims about 432 Hz and healing frequencies, yet he's generous enough to admit that symbolism can matter when the nervous system is open and afraid. Its ideas are persuasive because they are humble. Page isn't selling music as magic. He's arguing that care is often found in the smallest adjustable details. I came away from listening to Spravato with a renewed respect for the unseen textures of healing, for the chair, the headphones, the nurse outside the door, the final grounding track that helps a person return to themselves. This is a compassionate, idiosyncratic, and quietly necessary book, one that makes a convincing case that treatment environments should be designed with more imagination and more mercy. I'd recommend it to Spravato patients, clinicians, clinic owners, music therapists, and anyone interested in how sound can help hold a person steady when language has gone temporarily out of reach. Thanks for joining us on the Literary Titan podcast. If today's review sparked your interest, be sure to pick up a copy of the book and experience it for yourself. If you enjoyed the episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a rating, or share it with a fellow book lover. Until next time, keep reading, not just to escape, but to grow.